Well then, we traveled to the western coast a week ago. Now we have arrived at the eastern coast of the Iberian Peninsula. Welcome along to round 5 of the Breakout Racing League Realistic tier here in Barcelona, Catalonia for the Spanish Grand Prix. Spain, then, located on the Iberian Peninsula, it shares the same peninsula with Portugal, ironically the scene of last week's Grand Prix at Portimao. But now we're already here in Spain, in a country with over 8,000 kilometers of coastline, and located in a city where the intended location of the Eiffel Tower, yes, that one, from Paris, was actually structured and proclaimed to be in Barcelona. The architect went up to the city's officials and proposed the idea. Barcelona, well, they turned it down. Look how that got them. But now they're up in France, and the rest is history. Enough about the setting, then. Let's talk about the track. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalonia was built in 1991. It has been the host of every Spanish Grand Prix since. The track, it has 16 corners, 7 to the left and 9 to the right, to make up the circuit length of 4.655 kilometers, 2.892 miles, 2 DRS zones, one in the run into turn 10 and the other in the run into turn 1. Well, that assists overtaking at a track that has been notoriously difficult in the past. Only time will tell. Well, the drivers then, they have a option of tires from the Pirelli range, the C3, C2, and the C1 tire, with the C3 being the red striped soft, C2 being the yellow striped medium, and the C1 being hard tire. The drivers also have the options of the intermediate and fit. So far, it's all sunny and clear in Barcelona. Maybe they won't need it for qualifying, but the race is still up for grabs. And MooMoo leads by one singular point over the McLaren, not this man, but his teammate, Unsighted Port. After a back-to-back victory at China and at Portimao, the 51 to 50 point gap between the guy in third, well, it's Cookie. He's been finishing the podium twice and finished fourth a week ago. Now he's third in the championship once more. He was second a week ago because of that McLaren moving up. Well, he has 43 points to his name, AlphaTauri Bailey. Speaking of fourth, he's been there quite a lot. If he can do it here today, see if he can do a one better and get a podium for AlphaTauri. Well, 5th and 6th is regained a lot of traction ever since the beginning race in Bahrain and China, and they definitely need to get a good one here. They have a gap between those two, 8 points. Sitting in 7th is Minico in the Aston Martin with 20 points. He's tied with ZachTheBeast for 6th. Can he keep up, or will have a little bit of a separation between the Mercedes, well, kind of obvious there, or the Mercedes-powered Aston Martin? We'll see after a few minutes' time. Minico is actually going to be a little bit late. He is going to join through Q1, supposedly. Hopefully he can get that up. And is John in the McLaren. He is on board with him now as he goes through the final sector, as he goes through rise up. It's the provisional first pole with KP 21.0. The McLaren is going to easily beat that. 17.590. John is now your provisional pole sitter, though. He sits ahead of Taylor by 2 points. John does. And Daytona rounds out the grid in 10th with 4 points to his name. Let's talk about the Constructors' Championship. The McLaren, speaking of the McLaren, we're on board with John, his teammate, and him. They've had a pretty good pairing. They've now extend that gap to 21 points, who is tied with Ferrari, with both teams at 53 points respectively. Mercedes sits 4th, who are tied with AlphaTauri, ironically, in 5th and 6th respectively, both with 48 points, 5 adrift of Red Bull and Ferrari. Aston Martin sit in 6th position, 24 points back of Mercedes and AlphaTauri, but 22 ahead of Alpine. They are in a complete no man's land right there. Yellow flag in Sector 1 of Mercedes, a car getting out of the way, maybe Deer Hunter. But Alpine, they got a week ago. They now sit up ahead of Haas in the 7th position, and they are tied with Haas particularly for 8th now. In 9th position sits Alfa Romeo, 1 point back of both Alpine and Haas, and Williams round out the top 10 and the grid with 0 points, yet they have not yet to score. Now, the track in the past have been the home of preseason testing, although it has moved to Sakir. Testing is not over. Mercedes, like I've talked about, they are definitely going to be tested tonight. They need a good finish. They need a great result. They have had a podium in the last, let's see here. This is the 5th round. They've had 2 podiums, and a team that is challenging for the championship. Both their drivers have 1 podium apiece. Deer Hunter got 1 in Bahrain. ZachTheBeast got 1 last time out in Portimao. That is not what you're looking for if you are ahead of that Mercedes pit wall. They are going to be tested here today. Is it going to be another China, or is it going to be another Portimao or Bahrain? Can Mercedes get on the podium? A bigger question. How will some of these guys rebound? McLaren, unsighted port, like I've stated, he won China and he won Portimao. He won it from the man right now sitting in 19th. He's not coming out of the pits yet. But MooMoo, he was leading both of those races before a late race disaster in both of them, with him making a mistake in China and the weather calling him in and not really getting that right, as Ferrari nuts actually spun round at turn 5. He's in the gravel. Look at it. Looks like he doesn't have any wing damage, so he's going to get out of the way, not impeding anyone. Is going to go across the grass trap as he goes in the exit of turn 5. Alpine once again, though. Ferrari not scored those 2 points a week ago, grabbing that 9th position in Portimao. They want to keep and continue that luck up and that skill. They need to get that going because they had a really, really, really rough start to the season. 4 rounds, 2 points. That is a pretty much reminiscent of what Renault did, the French-based team who moved from, the name moved from Renault to Alpine between 2020 and 2021. They had a similar start a year ago. If you don't remember, ironically, it was at Holland. They had a similar start. They had about 5 points or so. 3 points to be exact, with their driver BRL Ardell, who actually is going to be in the field tonight full time. He is going to be in the Williams alongside KP21. But they had a slow start a season ago. Want to avoid it? Well, they haven't. Undecided port, he's going to go with 17.1. He splits the two Mercedes, 17.3 to ZachTheBeast and 16.8 to Deer Hunter. That is your provisional poll. And right now in Q1, 12 drivers have set a time, and 8. If you do count Minico into that setting, have yet to set a time. 17 in the, in the track that is yet to set a time. 1 who's coming in from the airport, if you do dare to say. Going around the final corner is going to be John. It looks like he says he's on an out lap. Is that correct? Yes, he is. He's going to start another flying lap. But let's go back to the Mercedes then. They're going to have a test. McLaren, John, and Port, they're going to have a test. They're leading the championship again. 21 points is their gap between Red Bull. MooMoo, can he have some luck in the second stages of the Grand Prix? The last 2 has not been going his way. Boscookie, he's had some really great finishes, 3rd, 4th, respectively, for the 3 rounds he's been in. And the 4th one, well, we'll see how it goes and plans out. It's going to be a good time here. I really think it is in Spain. A lot of these drivers know the track well, and it's going to be very enjoyable for us up here. Actually, I say us, it's just me, because, I'm a catcher alongside no one once again in the realistic booth. And, I may not be alongside anyone in the booth, but I am with you guys in the chat. So if you want to come and hang out in the Breakout Racing League Twitch chat, go ahead, say hello. I'll try to interact with as much as I can, and, see some familiar faces, have some fun in the chat. Who do you think is going to be knocked out of qualifying 1 if Minico gets in? Is he going to be one that's going to get into Q2? What about some of these guys like Tweaking? Right now, Tweaking sits ahead of the Alfa Romeo and both Williams of Ron Swanson, Ardell, and KP21. Is the Haas of Tweaking, is he going to be that top dog like he was in Haas previous rounds? I mean, if you don't remember, his teammate was wrathful. Well, they got Axe, who is, if you don't know Axe, he is definitely a quick guy. So is it going to be an even pairing between Axe and Tweaking? Is it going to be, well, quite the opposite? We'll have to figure that one out, but that's also what's going to minutes time. Who's going to get out of Q1? Who's going to go and launch themselves into a great position for the race? Obviously, there's nothing happening for these top teams like McLaren, who actually, by the way, John's got up 17.3. It's ahead of the Mercedes of ZachTheBeast and P3. So no, it is a Mercedes 1, McLaren 2-3, Mercedes 4, Ferrari 5-6. Ed Tronha's back in the Scarlet Red car. He's been absent for the past couple of Grand Prix. You remember back at Portimao, it was Raptor. Well, in China, I believe it was can't remember. So figure that out. ZachTheBeast, by the way, has retired in the pit lane, so he is going to be safely through in Q1, according to himself. See, Phantom in the Red Bull, he's back. Larson Fan goes ahead of Tweaking. That Alfa Romeo looking pacey. He's going to try to go put a fight to Tweaking. He's got a good finish as of late. He's gotten his lowest finish was P11. He wants to go and continue that streak so far. He's gotten P11, P10, and P11, not in that order. He got P10 at Bahrain and P11 at both China and at Portimao. He's going to try to keep it up for round 4 here at Spain. Well, a lot of these guys are going to try to go in redemption. Well, speaking of redemption, MooMoo with provisional pole, 16.522, almost 3/10 clear of the Mercedes of Deer Hunter. So right now, MooMoo is definitely solidifying his pace and the Red Bull stronghold. here in Barcelona, so that's going to be something to look out for. And it's also going to be something to look out for down here, though. Minico does make it in, so he will be on a charge to get out of qualifying 1. Unsighted Port also retires in the pit lane, back now on board with Haas of Axe F1. Like I said, new driver, he was signed recently, this past week, and now he's ready to put his foot to the floor and try to go and get the best he can for Haas. Bailey goes up to P7 in the Alpha Tauri, splits both Ferraris of Ed Proja and Boss Cookie in P7. Boss Cookie on those mediums, Jared also on the mediums, and Ferrari Nut goes on those mediums as well. Axe goes behind Tweaking by less than a tenth. That is definitely going to be a close pairing between Tweaking. Let's see how they play rounds. Right now, yellow flag, and that's the exit of turn 4. That may be actually Tweaking. Has to be letting someone by. It looks like he is just kind of slowly making a move on. I think behind him is going to be DRC Jared in the Alpine. Yes, it is. He's on those. No, he's not. He's short shifting, trying to conserve gas. John, he's retired in the pit lane as well through qualifying 1. He is believing he is safe, and it may not be too far away. Well, I mean, anywhere is the right place to do it. Why not have it in the comfort of the shower? That is also, that is definitely TMI, though, Feta. You are right. I'll give you that. Hopefully, you know, a lot of people are having a little bit more of a comfy time. Looks like Chandler's having a little bit of a rough time, but hey, you know, I mean, honestly, that seems like that would be the best combination. The shower and watching some Formula 1 racing. Well, BRL Ardell has gotten a 5-place grid penalty in a collision, I believe, with the Haas. That may be Tweaking. Did you recall a week ago, a 5-place grid penalty was applied to the second out. He's not in the field tonight. That's going to be Broken Reptile. It's going to be piloting that green Aston Martin machine. I mean, I would hope you're not wearing clothing in the shower. So once again, yellow flag sector 1, that's down the main straight. They're going to have a little bit of a look there. It looks like Minico is going to start his flying lap. Tweaking going around turn 4 to go another flyer on the C3 soft tires for the Haas, and trying his absolute best. Right now, his sitting on the cutoff, 15th place. Only the top 15 get into qualifying 2. Everyone else really just has just kind of ride it out. Boss Cookie and Moo have all retired in the pit lane. That's why the yellow flag was out there. So I believe they are safely through. So the car was spinning. And speaking of spinning, Tweaking spun at turn 10. I missed that. I was looking down at the chat as you saw the Ferrari. I believe, actually, that's the Alfa Romeo. I think actually Ron Swanson. Yes, it is. If you do recall, Ron is also the Alfa Romeo, I believe, a season ago, so he's not too unfamiliar to this Italian and Swiss-based team in the Alfa Romeo racing car. Let's see what he can do now uncontracted after the, I guess, release. I believe it was. I can go and verify that. That is correct. So, once again, a lot of these guys settling in, having some fun, trying to get, I guess, a handle on their new rides or some of their old ones. Minico around the final corner in that Canadian helmet. The Canadian goes up to P10. He's right now rocking Lance Stroll's, I guess, jumpsuit, but, you know, we'll see what he can do in when it comes to his own stuff. Hopefully, it's not too, quote-unquote, buggy for him and that Aston Martin there. I wear a full swimsuit in the shower. I would hope you don't. I don't know, it just doesn't seem very comfortable. More drivers have retired to the pit lane. That's DRC Jared. I believe Bailey has also gone in as well and retired to the pit lane. That leaves basically everyone in the top 10 except for Deer Hunter and the Mercedes. So actually is on another flyer in up in P2. Not sure exactly why, but he may try to get a little bit more mileage in. And that Mercedes, he goes a little wide through 3, keeps it valid. That's very good enough for him. Yellow flag, that is turn 10. It looks like it may be a little bit of a kerfuffle between the Aston Martin. I believe that is, it could be Broken Reptile. No, I think it was a Minico. And I believe that is behind him, the Aston Martin. We'll have to go take a look at that. What is going on down in Aston Fan? Yep, they're all trying to get a little bit of spacing. That's the Williams in front of him. That may be BRL Ardell or KP21. We'll have to figure that one out as they cross the line. Yellow flag, that looks like it may be either the Red Bull of Phantom or the Haas or one of the two Haas's that they've gone out on their final lap. It's 2 minutes left in qualifying one. Everyone down in the drop zone. We'll have to look at that. Ardell's 15th. He's now the one you're going to have to look out for, and he's at risk. Behind him, Broken Reptile, about a 10th adrift. I am tweaking, not too far in drift, a Broken Reptile. Axe, not too far away of his teammate. I am tweaking. Larson Fan retires on track. That is not necessarily good, and that is unfortunate. I was on board with him, but that is not in line with the Breakout Racing League. Wow, I just had a stroke there. Breakout Racing League rules and regulations. So that is, it may be reported. Taylor goes up to P10 in the Alpha Tauri, splits Minico and Phantom. Fine, Phantom, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. The two Canadians split by the North Carolina native. Well, let's go through in the rest of the grid right now. Minico has actually retired in the pit lane, speaking of the Canadian. Broken Reptile is going to go on his lap. He's going to go. P14 does go ahead of the cutoff. That is going to be 3/10 clear of Larson Fan. Ardell, he's going to go to the line. He's going to start his flying lap. A minute left to qualifying one. These guys need to get out of the drop zone. That is going to be tweaking on a flying lap. Axe on a flying lap. Ardell. Taylor crashes out. He crashed out a week ago, and Portimao was out of Q1. Oh no, KP21, his teammate Ardell, may have a little bit close. How much did that affect Ardell on his lap? We'll have to figure that one out as he comes across the start-finish line. Ahead of him, I am tweaking, not too far ahead, exiting turn 4 now for the Haas. Ahead of him, Axe is going through turn 10 into 11. We'll see what he can do. He's P18. He needs about 2/10 or so to get ahead of his teammate and Ardell. If he can grab it, he keeps it valid. Now into 13, now through 14. Oh, way too deep. That may have compromised his entire run. Is going to have to go to it, though. The Haas on his debut for the team, run by Mort Ethab in Tier 4, but he's going to try to go for the best thing he can. P14, he does get out of qualifying one, but for how much longer? Qualifying one, checkered flag has flown. Phantom's done. Ferrarnet's done. Reptile is still on the cut. Axe is clear. Larson Fan is going to be out of qualifying one. Ardell, he's going to go through turn 13, now 4 to 15. He cuts the curb, but he keeps it 16. Can he improve? He needs less than a 10th to get ahead of Larson Fan. A little more than that for Axe. No, he cannot. Tweaking cannot get out of qualifying one. Ron Swanson's going to be the only one left on the track that could possibly get himself and that Alfa Romeo team out of qualifying one. They've had a rough couple of races in qualifying as of late, and they want to improve that streak. But remember, Larson Fan, he was disqualified a week ago in Portimao in qualifying. He got up to P11. Ron, better of a chance here as long as he just home through the rest of this final sector through 12. He's going to have a couple more corners. Can he improve? He's at 19.3. Can he at least beat Tweaking or Ardell, or can he get himself out of qualifying through turn 14? Hops the curve on the inside through 15. Now it's going to be a straight shot, flat through 16, across the line. Ron is to beat DRS. Is the Alfa Romeo out? Yes, he is. No, he's not. He's ahead of his teammate, though. P16 for Ron Swanson. P17 for Larson Fan. Alfa Romeo out in qualifying one. So, through qualifying one, Moo grabs the provisional pole through qualifying one. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything. Well, he's about 3/10 clear of Deer Hunter, his nearest rival. Inside report on third, ahead of his teammate John. ZachTheBeast fifth, Cookie, Bailey, Ed Tronha, Phantom, Minico, both Alpines of Jared and Ferrari Nut. Broken Reptile, Axe. Taylor once again crashes out of qualifying for the second week running. Ron Swanson ahead of him, P16. Ahead of his teammate Larson Fan. BRL Ardell in 18th, Tweaking in 19th, and KP21 and will start 20th. But Ardell has that 5-place grid penalty, so KP21 will be promoted tonight. Ardell to 20th. Well, qualifying 2 is not going to be underway. 15 minutes to figure out who can get into the top 10 on what tires. Is it going to rain? Is it going to stay dry? Who's going to use what tire? What strategy is the best? Well, it's all going to be figured out almost time. 14 drivers going to be on for qualifying 2. As remember, Taylor, crashed out of qualifying 1 as the session almost expired, about 3 minutes left to go. Like he did at Portimao, he's not going to be taking part in qualifying 2, even though he made it with a significant amount of time to spare. A 17.9 was his time, I believe, and once again, he is not going to be taking part. He'll start P15, but once these guys, well, right now, we've seen Moo, we've seen John, both Red Bulls with fan in the second one, Entronha and Broken Reptile. All of them have the mediums applied. Let's go to the tire. Right now, Deer Hunter actually has just applied that medium as well. So everyone else so far on the C3 soft. So is that going to be a big indicator? Are they going to do some little bit of flying laps? Some bankroll guys got planned ahead of this Spanish Grand Prix for round 4 of the Realistic tier in the Breakout Racing League. You know how I said a flying session ago how Minico in the Aston Martin was rocking the Stroll jumpsuit and helmet, but like I said, I don't know. I was said, quote unquote, let's hope there's not, now he's helmetless. Yellow flag through, and it looks like it has already been cleared out. The first one's going to be across the line. It's going to be the McLaren, I believe. That may be unsighted port. No, it's not. It's his teammate, John. Let's take a lap on board with unsighted port. He's 1 point behind. He's going to be the championship leader if he gets a good finish ahead of Moo today. Let's take a lap with unsighted port at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. It's one straight down for turn 1 in the F-Lander. Down to turn 1, you have a swooping right and then a left, which is you have this fast right that you want to take flat. It's just not that. It's, I guess, more difficult this season because of the downforce regulations. And it's difficult because you want to put the power on, but you'll either understeer off the track like Port almost just did, or you'll oversteer down to the turn 5. It's really easy to lock up that left front, and it's also easier to run wide if you're not too careful. Through into 6, now into 7. This is the trickiest corner in my opinion. Don't run wide right here through 8. And that is going to be a lot of the scene of a lot of invalidations or track limit penalties come race time. DRS, there's going to be yellow flag down in turn 10. Speaking of turn 10, Port's there. It's been reprofiled for the 2021 calendar, not in the 2021 game. Oh, loses it on the curb. Keep it off the wall. He does just slightly. Wow, that's amazing that he kept it off that wall. Speaking of his teammate, though, an 18.0. John gets ahead, but only abruptly. ZachTheBeast goes a 17.0, almost the entire second ahead of the McLaren, but that is incredible that unsighted port kept that out of the barrier there. No, I kind of just turned in my license. I was a little bit of a menace to myself, if you may. Well, Ferrari Nut's going to be the closest one we have to the line, other than, I believe, ahead of him may actually be one of the Ferraris, either be Baschi or Entronha. It was Entronha with an 18.5, but here comes Ferrari Nut. He got some good points. He goes up to P5 at 18.3, goes ahead of Entronha in the Ferrari. When it comes to the laps. Well, the next one up to the line is going to be John, but if he's on another lap or not, because he's going to want to try to, I guess, caress these tires, make them last, give them the least amount of tire wear they possibly have. You have to renew that library card eventually, right? I'll be there at the front desk. John comes into the pits. Behind him is going to be a couple of drivers. One of them being Moo. He's out on the track. He's on those C2 medium tires, so that's going to be a tire to watch out for. Is these guys, are they going to, oh, no, actually he goes into the pit lane anyway. Don't worry about that. Like a lot of guys in the pit lane without a lap on the board. That is some actually big names there. Moo unsighted port. Bailey's one of those. Jared's there, but Deer Hunter is actually on a flyer lap. Let's see what he can do in the Mercedes. I told you that Mercedes needs a good day, especially Deer Hunter. He's getting caught by his teammate ZachTheBeast. Great and stellar performance back in Portimao a week ago. Deer needs a good lap. He got a 17.2. That's 2/10 the drift of his teammate on the harder tire. That's a great lap from Deer Hunter. Well, let's see how well he can caress those tires and keep them sustainable for the rest of that lap. Going into turn 10, I believe that's going to be Broken Reptile in Aston Martin. Going through the middle sector now in the final sector, kind of taking it a little bit easy on that outlap, trying to caress those mediums like I was talking about. is a lot of these guys made sure C2 to C1. In order to do that, you need to qualify onto those medium tires. If you cannot, the softs roll, because if you can get a great undercut on someone on those softs, it depends how well you can last those soft tires out. You could also have a one-stop, maybe. I'm not really sure. You could have a soft to hard, maybe, if you can try to stretch it out. I've seen people do it. It's possible strategies here tonight. We could also have a two-stop, a soft to medium, or we could have a soft, medium, hard. There's a lot of strategies these guys can use for the Spanish Grand Prix here tonight. It's going to be huge. One second, I'm trying to see if I can troubleshoot something. Well, as I try to figure out some, I guess, a quote-unquote tech support, we'll go figure out what's happening on track. Broken Reptile through into turn 16 in the Aston Martin. He's going to look for a good run. He needs those C3s, but right now, he's on those C2s, and it's just, I don't know. We'll see how that lap holds up compared to everyone else. He may be on another one. That went in the pits, I believe, is DRC Jared. He's on, actually, no, it's not. He's over here in turn 10. He's on those C3s that I was talking about, the softs. He actually set a purple for a second. It looks like he could be flying here. The Alpine could be on for another Q3 appearance. He didn't have the day he wanted out, and Portimao actually was out just 5 laps after spinning a couple of times and retiring in the pit lane. Jared wants a redemption race. He wants some fun times. Well, he's got it. 17.693, and that is going to be ahead of BRL Phantom and about 4/10 behind Cookie. Give me a couple seconds. I'm trying to troubleshoot things again. Okay, excuse me for a couple seconds. Let's see if I can try to fix the stream here. By the time qualifying is over. So in the downtime between qualifying and the Grand Prix, we'll kind of end and kind of try to reshuffle this and see if the stream can get a little bit better. But for now, I'll give you the rest of the action through qualifying. While we were out, Zach has bolted on those mediums. Deer Hunter once again is within those 2/10. Jared goes to 4th, ahead of both McLarens of Unsighted Port and John, and both still out there on with a shot to go do something. And Ferrari not just crossed the line to P8. That's now the second Alpine in the top 10. Could we see a double Alpine Q3 appearance? We'll have to figure that one out shortly. Minico right now P10 X. That's a stellar lap right now. P11 ahead of Broken Reptile, and both Bailey and Moomoo have yet to set a time. Speaking of Moomoo, he's spun around at turn 2. It's an unfortunate place to cut to him. I believe he was already losing it as he gone through. He's on those mediums once again, and if that's now his second out running on those mediums, that's down a lot more than he really would want in the Grand Prix. So that's going to be difficult for him if he wants that strategy to go out flawlessly. Well, Unsighted Port is retired in the pit lane. He hopes that time of a 17.7 is good enough. Well, Jared follows suit, 17.6. He thinks, well, I mean, go look at the cars behind. I mean, the drivers are definitely not going to be the factor, because these drivers are all great. Bailey, Moo, Broken Reptile, and Axe. All these drivers are really great on their own, but the car, how much performance hurt them? Like Axe is, for example, in P11. That Haas, it just doesn't have speed, but he has a ton of speed himself behind that wheel. So maybe some of these guys take advantage or take into account. And the amount of cars behind him. Jared right now sitting 5th, unsighted port 6th, 17.6, and a 17.7 respectively for those guys. And they think they are safe. About half minutes left. Man, the championship leader and the guys who really needs a good race. He's lost the last 2, and he needs to get a good one going for him. Well, that's MooMoo in the Red Bull. He's going to start his flying lap on those C2 medium tire. He's going to try to do the best he can in that Red Bull. He needs to get up in the top 10. Around unsighted port, 17.7. Look at Deer Hunter, what he did, 17.2 in the Mercedes. The Mercedes looking pacey, not only from ZachTheBeast, but from Deer Hunter as well. ZachTheBeast actually out on an out lap. He thinks he can go faster on those mediums. Speaking of going faster, purple sector 1, that's good for the Red Bull of MooMoo. Let's see what he can do. Now into turn 7 and 8. That's going to be the tricky spot. If they stay valid, they do. Going up into turn 9. That's going to be another tricky spot. It used to be almost flat. Well, it may still have that same characteristic here today. Into turn 10 with the DRS. Purple sector 2. Well, the Red Bull MooMoo, he's flying. He could put an end to that Mercedes 1-2 up front with a Ferrari 3-4. I missed that. Ed Tronha goes up and got a better lap. He puts himself well clear of own. Right now, 2 minutes left to play. He keeps it valid. That is MooMoo going around the final corner in the Red Bull. He needs to get a good Q3 appearance. He's got it. 16.7. Wow, that's 0.3 clear of ZachTheBeast and 0.6 clear about of Deer Hunter in the Mercedes. That is a heck of a lap in that Red Bull. Behind him, though, is going to be the Mercedes of ZachTheBeast. Speaking of him, he needs to get a good lap in. He's now on the mediums. He probably set a banker lap on those softs. Can he improve on it with these medium tires? Well, if he can get anything close to a 16.7, I think he'll be perfectly fine. A lot of traffic coming out of the pit lane. That's Phantom. That's John, I believe. Behind him may have been one of the Alpines as well. Yes, it was this Ferrari night. Yellow flag, sector 1. Everyone kind of getting out of the way and kind of figuring their place out spacing-wise. Now looks like the Red Bull ahead of the McLaren, but he's not letting that one go. Looks like the McLaren actually gets past the Red Bull of Phantom. John ahead of that Red Bull of Phantom. Going through the sector 1 timing split. How is ZachTheBeast going to go? Actually, he passed a couple seconds ago. We have to wait to the sector 2 timing split. I missed it. Well, let's see. Now into turn 7, as long as no mistake, no invalidation through 8. He keeps it clean. Now up into 9. It's going to be the difficult part. Keeps it clean and does not get oversteer on that curve. Look at the yellow. That's MooMoo stop, basically standing still. He was about, wow, look at that. 30 milliseconds about adrift of his soft lap. It looks like Zach could actually be on for a quicker lap if he can hold it up to the final sector. Going through the final couple of corners, Zach on the gas, now off, now on the brakes through 14, now into 15. Now if he can grab this lap, keep it valid. It's invalid at the last possible chance. ZachTheBeast will start on the soft compounded tire. He's definitely going to be kicking himself from that one to set another lap, as qualifying is about to end for qualifying 2. Deer Hunter, Bosco, you both in the pits. Ed Tronha going through the final corner. He's going to start another flying lap. He's P5 right now. Jared ahead of unsighted port, P6, P7. John's going to start his flying lap. Phantom's going to start his flying lap. Ferrari Nuts on a flying lap now. Miniko, he's going through the final couple of complexes with his teammate Broken Reptile. We'll see what he can do around the final corner. It may have been impeded. Let's see if it was or not. P10, he's at the danger zone. Can he get into Q3 once again? It's going to be close for that Aston Martin. Phantom's now out of the cutoff. He needs to get a good lap in. Ferrari Nut, he wants a good Q3. Going close to for unsighted port and Jared. Can these guys get a better lap in? Broken Rep, Gabbett. Oh, that's a yellow flag. Looks like Zach may be getting out of the way. Yes, it is. Going through the final couple of sequence of corners. Can Axe grab any time in that Haas? Can he get into Q3 here at Barcelona? Can he do it? We'll have to figure it out of turn 16. Across the line he goes. He gets ahead, 18.5, but doesn't get out of the bottom 5. Broken Reptile, he's going through now into 14, into 15. He needs to find about 9/10 of a second to go even with his teammate in P10. He wants to get even clearer of that because Phantom's on a flyer. Broken Rex Minico has been dropped out because Ferrari Nut goes in the top 10. Can Phantom get out of the top 10? He does barely. Where's John John? He gets out of the top, into the top 10, and Phantom's now out of qualifying. A Red Bull out of qualifying in Q2 at Barcelona, both with 2 Aston Martins and the Haas of XF1. Well, that has definitely been a chaotic qualifying. So Unsighted Port barely squeaks it in by 15 milliseconds. He survives over the threat from Phantom. Phantom is going to be out of qualifying 2 in the Red Bull. That's a huge Milton Keynes team as his teammate. Moo is in the top 10 and actually on provisional pole, 16.7 on those medium compounded tires. Also going to be a great disappointment for the Aston Martin team. Not only Minico, but his teammate Broken Reptile, both out of qualifying 2. And Axe, I mean, you can't fault him for trying. It was a very valiant effort in that Haas, and P14 will be definitely something he will take into qualifying and into the race in a couple moments' time. Once again, Moo tops the session ahead of both Mercedes this time. ZachTheBeast ahead of Deer Hunter. The big news, he's on the softs, Zach is. He could not get that medium lap in. John ahead of Cookie, ahead of Etron, ahead of Ferrari Nut, all under the softs, C3 tire. Bailey in the Alpha Tauri, he got into the top 10 on the mediums. I missed that. Jared goes into the P9. He's on the softs as well. Unsighted Port barely, like I said, makes Q3 on those mediums. It was close, and it's something that I'm probably is too close to comfort for Unsighted Port. But Phantom, Minico, Broken Reptile, and Axe F1 all out of qualifying 2. Now it's time for the big guns, the top 10 shootout, the one that counts, the one for pole, the one for bragging rights, and the one for the stack sheets. Let's see who can come out in pole position in the next 12 minutes' time. That's a very audacious McLaren. That is going to be John. Actually, ahead of him is going to be Bailey. The Alpha Tauri is going to be the first one on track. Behind him is going to be the McLaren of John. So, like it was a week ago, it's dry in qualifying 3. Unlike a week ago, we had a little bit of an issue, though. It was wet to dry. The guys had to figure out who could be on the track the latest, who can have the best run. Those softs, well, now it's going to be just the softs. It's guys, once again, through qualifying 3 here in Barcelona. In Catalonia, in Spain. There's a lot of N's if you're counting somewhere. Someone needs to get a drinking game of how many times I say a certain word. I'll try to either limit myself on that or I'll do it more. Just depends how much I like you. No, I'm just kidding. But once again, it's going to be a great session for some of these guys in realistic tier. Like the big names right now is going to be Moo versus Deer. How is that fight going out? It looks like that's going to be a close fight. How is ZachTheBeast going to put up a fight against his teammate? Right now it's 2-1 in qualifying. The Mercedes of ZachTheBeast ahead of his teammate Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter only beat him in China. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Both of them has been on the front row one time. They're going to try to look for that again. How is it going to be for the other guys? Moo is going to want to pole. Unsighted Port, he's definitely going to want to go one better in qualifying. He's yet to do it. Excuse me. He needs to do it in the race, though. He did it a week ago. He wants to do it again. Well, Bailey's going to start his flying lap. And behind him is going to be John. He's going to start his flying lap. But some of these names now, like Moo, Unsighted Port, Deer Hunter, ZachTheBeast, those guys, those 4 are already your quote-unquote big 4 going in through 4 rounds of the Breakout Racing League Realistic tier season. But can we see a dark horse happen? Can we see another guy who usually isn't in those top cars? Yellow flag in the final sector. That may be Moo trying to get a little bit of spacing from the McLaren of Unsighted Port. But can we see some of these guys like a Bailey, like a Ferrari Nut or a Jared or a Boss Cookie we saw a couple times? In fact, Cookie actually has, I believe, the most podiums out of anyone. Actually, I believe he's tied with Unsighted Port in the McLaren. But one of those guys, can they go and upset those big four, Port, Moo, Zach the Beast, Deer Hunter? Can Mercedes, like I said in the beginning of this session, can they have a good weekend? Will it be like a Bahrain or a Portimao, or will it be like a China where they have a abysmal and Deer Hunter gets in? I mean, we never know what could happen. Jared could walk away with this. Catalonia on his debut last two. He's back. He wants to get a good show off. We'll see what he can do in the Ferrari. Bailey, though, around the final corner, 17.2. That's going to be the time they're all chasing after. John's going to be behind him in the McLaren. So 17.2, but only by 48 milliseconds. That is a great gap between the McLaren and the AlphaTauri. Bailey's going to be happy with that. Boss Cookie getting a little bit on the curb through 15. That's going to cost him time. Excuse me. The Ferrari goes provisional pole only for a couple of seconds. Zach the Beast, 16.7. He goes provisional. Look at the gap between Cookie and John. A 17.202 compared to a 17.204. Inside of Port, 16.8. That's going to be in favor for Zach the Beast and the Mercedes team. For a couple seconds, though, it gets taken away. Moo and the Red Bull goes to 16.226 and 5/10 clear of the Mercedes of Zach the Beast. Everyone is out on track except for the man in 7th right now. Jared, he goes up to the line out of turn 16. He goes to P7, a 17.386 in the Alpine. Deer Hunter's now getting out of the pit lane, but Ed Tronha is going through turn 6 into 7. Ferrari Nut is going into turn 10. How will these guys' laps go off? Well, let's figure this one out. You see, Ferrari Nut may have a little bit of dirty air or wash, if you will, from the AlphaTauri. Excuse me. Ferrari Nut through 16 in the Alpine. He's going to want a good finish compared to his teammate. 18.1, 8/10 adrift of DRC Jared, and he's going to want another lap. Deer Hunter's on that out lap now. He has 7 minutes left to go in the session. He's going to try to aim for is that position right there, P1 or P2. That is where Deer Hunter wants. He does not want anything else. He does not want to be beaten by his teammate, but he definitely doesn't want to be beaten by that Red Bull of Moo. He's going to want to do the best he can. Ed Tronha is a 17.6. P8 splits the Alpines, but the Alpine of Ferrari Nut may be on for another run. Everyone looks to go back into the pit lane. Moo, Zach the Beast, inside of Port. John, and Bailey all have gone in back to the garage. And everyone out look at Nail in the coffin and going into the pits as well. DRC Jared goes in. You see he does not wreck the car on the way to the pits, and he may actually be out of gas as well. You never have to figure that out. Quite the opposite of Tronha. He's pushing quite hard. He could be on another flyer. Can that Ferrari get a great chance here at a good finish and a good qualifying session? Right now, his teammate, Boss Cookie, 17.202, 2/10 clear of the McLaren of John up in P5. Ed wants to go and try to aim for P4, aim for his teammate. He wants to go and try to beat Cookie if he can. On a lap to do it. We'll have to figure that one out in a few seconds' time. Will he box or will he stay out? He will indeed box. Everyone is going to go into the pit lane. He has started his flying lap. He's gone through turn 6 now. So now into 7 is going to be the difficult part. Like I said, it's going to be the huge occurrence if guys get invalidated right there. The apex and entry of turn 8. And right here, the exit of turn 9. Those two are going to be through the entire Grand Prix of Spain. The Spanish Grand Prix brought to you by the Breakout Racing League for the realistic tier. If you don't the Breakout Racing League, welcome. We are quite, honored to have you here. But if you do not like what you see, well, there's plenty for you to choose from. You have equal tier racing, as this is realistic tier right now. You have equal tiers the next couple of days, Friday and Saturday. You have Formula 2 yesterday. Deer Hunter actually goes up 16.6, gets ahead of his teammate in P2. But you also have Estado Corsa Competizione, and so tune into that if you like GT racing. Well, you have plenty to choose for. Also, we also have some PC side of things. You see, this is the Xbox One and the Xbox Crib. But you also have PC Tier 1 on Fridays and PC ACC, I believe, on Fridays as well. So you can go and tune in. It's mostly going to be streamed, if it is going to be streamed, on YouTube, on the Breakout Racing League YouTube channel. So go and check this out. As we have a little bit of a downtime, about 4.5 minutes, a little bit under that left to go in qualifying 3. And the shot for pole. Right now, Moo got the provisional pole nod, a 16.222, about 4/10 clear of the Mercedes of Deer Hunter, who's about 10th clear of his teammate, Zach the Beast, who's about a 10th clear of Unsighted Port, the man who's won 2 straight Grand Prix at China and at Portimao. Boss Cookie, he leads the, I guess, the quote-unquote best of the rest. Like I said, those top four, Moo, Deer Hunter, Zach, and Outside of Port, those have been the names that we've seen a lot on the podium. Same with Boss Cookie. How will the Ferrari play it? He said he would actually have a great advantage here because of the Ferrari, and I believe Port actually said it as well. Ferrari may have a little bit of advantage. They have a lot of downforce and a lot of drag that may help with the slower speed corner, especially through Sector 3, but it's going to hurt on the straightaways. Can Cookie manage that? He's going to be the first one out on track, and right now the only one out on track is Deer Hunter is going into the pit lane on the exit of turn 15. So, like I said, Cookie, he leads the best of the rest in quote, but right now he could have a great chance for pole. He'd done it before, he can do it again, especially last season in the Racing Point. He wants some good old finishes, especially here at Spain in the red Scarlet Ferrari, cheering on. A lot of the fans are cheering for Carlos Sainz. Well, you know, he's not in it because of, well, this is a game. But, hey, you could still cheer for that man in 5th position with Boss Cookie. John, he also wants a good finish. He had a little bit of mistakes through a Grand Prix ago at Portimao. He wants a good qualifying session to start his race up well. Bailey, he's going to want a little bit of redemption. He's had a little tough stretch in the last couple races, which is funny you say because he's not had any finishes outside the top 10. And the fact that I said he's had a tough stretch is very eye-breaking because he's an AlphaTauri. Usually you have, if you say an AlphaTauri is on a tough stretch, you look at Yuki Tsunoda down in 13th or 14th. Cookie's actually started his flying up. You see him going past in the bottom of your screen now. But you saw, I mean, Bailey, he wants some redemption. He wants to go grab that podium that he's been oh so close to so many times. 4th in Bahrain, 5th in China. And he had a 6th place finish. I'm sorry, it was, what was it, 4th in Bahrain. It may have been 4th in China. Portimao, I believe it was. And he just wants that podium badly. I think he can do it. Jared, he wants redemption from a week ago. We saw his contract was signed a week ago. Well, he did not show Hoopalicious, the team boss for Alpine, exactly what he could do. He wants to change that. He wants to grab some points. He wants to get a good qualifying finish. Etronha, well, he's back, like I said multiple times. He's back from a 2-race hiatus in the Ferrari. He wants to go and show some love to his team manager, SF1 Rhodes, and he also wants some points. Right now, he has none in that scarlet red Ferrari. Ferrari Nut, once again, he wants some points. He got 2 a week ago. He wants some more. Well, now we have to see how everyone is going to play out in qualifying, and the track position is going to be key here in Catalonia because of, like I said earlier, it's difficult to pass. A lot of guys, because the DRS is difficult to get out of or to get into. Well, that's why overtaking is going to be a prime factor of how well you can get through the field, because if you can overtake well, you have to be consistently and considerably faster than the guys you're racing around. We'll have to figure that one out. DRC Jared and Ferrari Nut are both going to the line. I believe the first one up to the line is going to be the Ferrari, a Boss Cookie. Actually, it's not. It's going to be Etronha in the other Ferrari going through turn 15. Now, if he keeps it valid, he has to turn 9. I'm sorry, he's in 9th. He's gone through turn 16. Etronha wants a good qualifying session. He gets ahead of DRC Jared. Behind him, the next one's going to be crossing the line, I believe, is going to be the Mercedes. Is it going to be ZachTheBeast? No, he's not. He's gone a little bit off the track through at turn 12, getting out of the way. That means the next one up is actually going to be the McLaren of Outside of Port. Around turn 16 he goes. He's P14. He wants pole position. He can't get it. Behind him, though, Moo in the Red Bull. He wants to go considerably faster. He hasn't either. Deer Hunter, he's going to start his flying lap down into turn 1. Behind him, you see ZachTheBeast. He had a little bit of a mistake. Can he make it? He didn't. Actually, it looks like he did, because the checker flag has not gone up yet for him. Oh, Outside of Port's lost it. John's got ahead of his teammate. Jared's retired. Exit of turn 9, like I said on that straightaway. There we go. Checker flag is out. P6, 17.0. Boss Cookie goes to P3, a 16.6 ahead of ZachTheBeast in the Mercedes. Outside of Port is out of qualifying. He cannot improve. John's improved, and he's pretty much gone to P5, his best possible chance. The next one up is going to probably be Etronha in the Ferrari. He's invalidated. He cannot do anything with that lap. The next one behind him, Ferrari Nut in the Alpine. He's going to try to grab it. He has an 18.1. He wants what his teammate has, 17.3. He has a fresh set of softs. Can he get him? P10 is where he at right now. He wants anything better than P9. He wants to get ahead of his teammate. Around turn 16 he goes to the line for the Alpine. He stays P10. Behind him, though, Deer Hunter goes provisional pole, 16.091. That is crucial. Can MooMoo beat it? He cannot beat it. MooMoo has gotten robbed of a pole position. Deer Hunter has stolen it, and he's grabbed it to perfection. He grabbed pole position, but can this man, can the Mercedes of ZachTheBeast beat him? He wants to beat his teammate. Can he beat his teammate? No, he cannot. Deer Hunter ahead of MooMoo. Cookie, ZachTheBeast, John is going to be P5. He's going to take the flag, and Port takes the flag in frustration after his mistake through turn 3. Well, I said it's going to be a test, and they've passed. Mercedes have gotten provisional pole. Well, now they've gotten the actual pole. Deer Hunter grabs pole position ahead of MooMoo by 47 milliseconds. That is a close. Could be the one to break up this top 4. He did. He grabs P3. ZachTheBeast grabs P4. Another great qualifying from him. Beats both McLarens of John and Port. In fact, John outqualifies Port, I believe, for the first time. Bailey, he's P7 in the Alpha Tauri ahead of Etronha and the Ferrari, and both Alpines of DRC Jared and Ferrari Nut round out the top 10. These guys will have to start on the tires they started on come the Grand Prix in a couple moments' time. Alrighty, the drivers are ready. The race director, let's go to our trusty friend. This will deal exactly what the drivers have on their car. Deer Hunter, the medium. MooMoo, the medium. Boss Cookie. ZachTheBeast, John, the softs. Port, Bailey, the medium. Etronha, DRC Jared, Ferrari Nut, all on the softs. Phantom on the medium. Miniko on the softs. Both Broken Reptile and Axe on the medium. Terror Clan on the hard C1 tire. That's the very big gamble from the AlphaTauri driver. Ron Swanson ahead of Larson Fan, both on the medium. Tweaking on the medium. KP21 on the medium. And BRL Ardell on the medium as well. As the drivers now prepare for the formation lap ahead of the Spanish Grand Prix, the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. We are ready. We're waiting for this amazing race to go underway, and it's going to be one for the record books. 33 laps around this 4.655 kilometer track. 16 corners. 2 DRS zones. Who quickest? Who can in it? That's going to be the big thing. How can Deer Hunter break away from MooMoo and grab Mercedes' first win since a season ago? And I believe it may have been Unsighted Port to grab that. Boss Cookie, can he grab another podium? He's gotten 2 out of 3. He wants a 4th one. Can he tonight? The Ferrari has a good shot with the drag on that Scarlet Red team from Maranello. Keep an eye on Boss Cookie. ZachTheBeast. Once again, he had a great showing last time out in Portimao. He wants another podium, and if Mercedes can get a double podium, scratch it, even a 1-2, what could happen? It's the game for Mercedes, and even probably put them in a great direction there. Predicted strategy is going to be 2-stop from a soft medium, medium, or a soft medium hard. We could have some guys going a medium to hard. That's why a lot of them in the outside the top 10. Everyone except for Miniko, for that rather, has chosen the C2 or the C1 tire. John and Unsighted Port, the Constructors Champion leader right now by 21 points. Unsighted Port's got to have a little bit of ground to make up if he wants to catch up to his championship rival in MooMoo. Bailey, he wants a good showing. Same with Ed Tronha on his race back, and both Alpines in the Q3 for the first time this season for the French team. Phantom in 11, that's going to be the Red Bull on a charge. Can the Bull do what he can? Minico on the softs, keep an eye out for the Aston Martin with his teammate behind him, Broken Reptile. Axe in P14. I said, how is the Haas balance? How's the Haas, I guess, pairing of Axe and Tweaking? How can that lay out? We'll have to figure that one out. P14 for Axe. Taylor races in a row. He's going to be on the hards. The only one on the C1s. He's going to be a little sluggish on the line. Keep in mind for him, but he has to go long. He has to keep his nose clean. Both Alfa Romeos, Ron Swanson, Larson Fan, 16th, 17th, Tweaking in 18th, KP21, and Ardell. He's going to round out the grid in P20 as he goes to his 20th place grid slot after his 5-place grid penalty. Now, we go from the back of the grid to the front of the grid from both Mercedes-powered cars. Now we go to the lights. We wait for the lights to go on. And it's lights out, and away we go. That's a good start from not only Deer Hunter, but from Cookie. I said sluggish in the back. Taylor's already off. Here goes, look at Cookie. He's alongside the Red Bull of MooMoo. He's going to be side by side and braking. The Red Bull, he tries, but the Red Scarlet Cookie cannot grab it. P2 for MooMoo, P3 for Boss Cookie. Port's gone up a position already. John to 5th, Bailey to 6th. Zach has gone down 3 positions to 7th. Jared ahead of Ferrari Nut Minico in P10, but look at Jared down the inside. Ferrari Nut makes contact with his teammate and the Mercedes of ZachTheBeast and spun round at turn 4. That's not what Alpine needed at all. They want a double points finish. Well, Ferrari Nut's going to have a long way to go. Well, now up to the front from 20th to 1st, though. Deer Hunter ahead of MooMoo, ahead of Cookie, ahead of Port, ahead of John, Bailey, Jared, ZachTheBeast. Phantom's gone up a position or so. He's actually gone up 2. Speaking of position gain, look at Ron Swanson in the Alfa Romeo. He started 16th and 17th. They're now 10th and 11th. I'm sorry, that's actually Ed behind him, not Larson Fan. Ed is now up to 11th, but Ron Swanson up 6 positions off the start. Minico, he's actually lost a position. Ardell has gained 7. Larson Fan has gained a couple. Gets a little close to the curb there. Excuse me. As Axe has gained a position or so. Tweaking has actually gained a lot of positions, and a lot of scrapping has gone to the 19th position. He's lost a couple positions already. Taylor Klein, you saw him at the back of the screen. He was actually off the track, and the DRS train has not begun yet, but the slipstream fastest already has. Here comes Deer Hunter with MooMoo behind the Honda-powered Red Bull of MooMoo. He's not going to do anything. Ed Tronha gets ahead of Ron Swanson and for the points-paying position for the Ferrari-powered team from Maranello. Minico also gets past Ron Swanson. Yellow flag as Phantom's gotten past. KP21 loses a position. Jared has gone down. That is for the Alpine team. And yes, Larson fans lost it as well. What has happened at turn 3? So in a race that both Alpines made Q3 for the first time this season, they're both outside the points and 18th and 19th respectively by lap 2. But right now, this is one guy who doesn't want to wait patiently. He doesn't want to have his MooMoo wants to go and take the lead from Deer Hunter. He's close, within 2/10 or so. Going to look to the left, try to get the switch back on the exit of turn 10. Deer Hunter is going to hold on for a little bit longer, but how will he hold on against that Honda power down the front straightaway? He's going to have the ERS. He's not going to have the DRS yet. That will be enabled this lap, but they will not be able to use it at this DRS zone. The drag reduction tables if you're within a second of the car in front. Right now, everyone from 1st to 5th is within that second. But look at this. Cookie, he's gained a significant amount. Port gets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. MooMoo's going to look for anything he can. DRS, once again, is enabled this time by. Look for that DRS train to start taking into account. How does Deer Hunter hold off MooMoo for that DRS train? How does Cookie stay with it? It's going to help him in the Ferrari power because they're a little bit lacking compared to the guys around them. All the Mercedes powered of John, Port, Deer Hunter, and the Honda power of MooMoo. Yellow flag once again. Looks like turn 3. That's the Alpha Tauri. Jared's out of the race, and Bailey's down to 18th. What has happened for the... Oh no, what has happened there for Bailey? He's now 19th. He has some front wing damage. That is going to be crucial and detrimental to his Grand Prix tonight. He needed a great finish. That 6th place finish he got from a week ago, he would be with it. Well, he's not going to be happy with it now. Taylor Clan, he's going up. He's now been overtaken by Ferrari Nut. Ferrari Nut's going to look once again to try and go and move up the field after that collision and the spin he had with his teammate and with ZachTheBeast in turn 4. Ed Tronha gets ahead, and Minico battling those two for 8th and 9th respectively. They're trying to grab and see who can grab the the higher position there. Deer Hunter, he survived the first DRS straight. He is going to go and see what he can do the second DRS straight. Deer Hunter grabs the fastest lap of the Grand Prix that was taken away by MooMoo. MooMoo has the DRS. He has the slipstream. He's going to the right-hand side. He's going to go around the outside of turn 1. Can he grab it? Yes, he can. The Red Bull back up in front. Deer Hunter is going to relinquish down to P2. Boss Cookie in P3. He's now under pressure from Port. John, Phantom and ZachTheBeast, they're now side by side. It was one Mercedes and Red Bull. Now it's the other Mercedes and Red Bull. The second driver's going in. Zach and Phantom trying to figure out their priority in the running order now. They already know their priority with the team. MooMoo's the first driver. Phantom's the second driver. But the whole role of the second driver is get as many points as you can. Bailey's out of the Grand Prix. He retires to the pit lane. That makes it 2 in 4 laps. We've lost DRC Jared and Bailey, 29. Right now up in the top 10, though. Once again, the Alfa Romeo of Ron Swanson, but don't look behind too far. That is not only BRL Ardell, but Axe F1. Those guys are looking for some quality points for those teams. Inside of Port, he gets past right now in a battle between him and Boss Cookie going through into turn 10. Well, you look up front, though. Battle for first has kind of gone off a little bit. Inside of Port now is going to look for his teammate behind him, though. How much does he have in the tank, John, in comparison to his teammate? You look at the battery, 94% straight. John had about the same, about 90%. They're both in the DRS train. They both use a little bit of ERS trying to stay with, the Ferrari of Boss Cookie. Going down into turn 1, the Ferrari stays ahead of both McLarens like they said they would. Zach gets past Phantom. It was close, but Phantom has to relinquish down to P7. Zach is going to go up to P6. Once again, a poor start from the Mercedes driver. He started P4. He was down behind both McLarens, which he out-qualified. Taylor goes down a position. Broken Reptile goes up a position to P15 for the Aston Martin racing car. He's going to have to try to get a little bit of a rebound. Taylor, he's going to try to play the long game. 20 long laps are left, and I believe he's going to have to try to take those hards all the way to a soft compounded tire. Can he do it? I think it's possible. Is that a warning? It's going to be something crucial. Any warnings do people have? Deer Hunter, he stays within this DRS train. 0.6 of a second between him and the Red Bull in front of MooMoo. Behind him, though, the closest battle on track, I believe, is going to be the battle for P4. John is once again sticking with his teammate, but Cookie is not that far ahead of his teammate inside of Port. Yellow flag. That's Deer Hunter, I think. Yes, it is. It's Deer Hunter. What happened there? Deer Hunter's lost the car. He not only has lost first, he's lost second. He's about to lose third. He's not going to have DRS. He may even lose fourth. Here comes both McLarens. I thought they were going to go 3 wide for a second. It was one McLaren down. The other McLaren's going to go down the inside. Deer Hunter's going to try to keep it there. He just can't hold on. So now not only has Mercedes lost the position from ZachTheBeast off the line, they've now lost their pole sitter. Deer Hunter's now down to 5th. That is not what they needed. Ferrari Nut goes up to 12th, battling with Axe in the Haas, trying to grab that position away. Can he do it right now? It looks like he cannot. But this is huge, though, for MooMoo, because now his main rival in Deer Hunter is stuck behind the train of John, Port, and Cookie. That was, well, if you think back to the last 2 rounds of the championship, Unsighted Port won those 2. Well, his rival stuck behind the Ferrari, who is lacking in the straight line. So this is really helping the Red Bull of MooMoo. Right now, 5.5 to 5.6 seconds is the gap between the Red Bull and the Ferrari. That is a huge gap right now, especially at Spain. The undercut is powerful, but it's not that powerful. What will these guys do? On the softs, Boss Cookie is. Same with John. So those guys will have to come in first. We expect them in the next couple of laps or so. John breaks the draft. I'm not John. Cookie breaks the draft very, very violently. Goes all the way to the right-hand side. He's not going to have enough to defend, though. Boss Cookie's going to go defensive. Squeeze the McLaren to the right hand. Braking going into turn 1. Port. He keeps it there. Cookie stays there. Contact made. Oh, John goes. It looks like he had a little bit off on the outside of the McLaren. He's not going to go to the outside at all. He's off the track. So not only has Unsighted Port tried to go for that move, looks like Cookie just stayed there. Didn't want to relinquish that, but now there's a battle between the two. ZachTheBeast on those softs, the C3 Red Bull tire. Now trying to battle his teammate Deer Hunter. Well, actually he's past his teammate Deer Hunter. Not sure what that's about. Well, now it's MooMoo from Cookie from Port, from John, from ZachTheBeast ahead of his teammate Deer Hunter. That is a big shuffle in the running order than it was a couple laps ago. Well, 7 seconds. I said the gap was pretty low laps ago. Actually, I believe it was last lap. Now it's 7.2. Look at the gap between him and unsighted Port. It's 0.7 of a second. He's going to go down tremendously. Can he do it? He's gaining on the Ferrari. He's gaining on the Ferrari. He's looking for the left-hand side. He's going to run on the outside of the Ferrari. Can he get it? No, he's just... That's going to be a pitting Mercedes. Is there damage for Deer Hunter? Was there any contact? Did he lose the car and hit a barrier? We'll have to figure that one out. Boss Cookie once again going extremely defensive. But that is going to promote Ron Swanson up to 9th. Ferrari Nut back into the points after his collision on lap 1. Well, now Port about 0.3 behind Boss Cookie in the Ferrari. John half a second behind. So where does do they play a little team orders game here? But obviously they're not going to. But here's the big team orders thing that I'm talking about here. When does John pit? And will Port know this? Well, they probably do know this, but I'm talking about specifically they try to put an undercut on the Ferrari, make him pressure, because, I mean, if you think about it, he has 2 different strategies behind him. And, you know, he has the mediums right directly behind. Cookie goes in, so that's going to be the undercut completely out the window for McLaren. That's going to be Boss Cookie off into the pit lane. So now it's going to be MooMoo ahead of unsighted Port. John, ZachTheBeast up in 4th. Phantom, he's been carried along from the Mercedes of ZachTheBeast, by the way. So he's now going to be up into P5. He's going to be P3 on the road with these medium compounded tire. And it's definitely going to be crucial for the Red Bull of Phantom here to get consistent. If these soft runners have to run a 2-stop, which I don't think they have to, they've gone about 8-9 laps. I think they can make it to the end on the hards. And by the way, Taylor Clan has pitted off the hard compound tire. He's on the mediums, so it looks like that hard strategy is just not going to hold up much longer anymore. Deer Hunter down in 16th on those hards. Boss Cookie in 12th on those hards. So that is going to be a huge jump. Look at that. That's about roughly 6, something like that, seconds or so between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Ardell grabs another 3-second time penalty. I believe that is now his total at 6 for multiple warnings and track extensions. Let's go take a look at penalties for a second as well. Look at the leader as well. 3 seconds to Ed Tronha, 6 to Ardell, and 3 to Larson Fan. You see right now, Phantom, he had a little bit of an issue a week ago. He grabbed 1 singular point, but it was definitely not easy. On the exit of turn 4 into 5 now, what has happened with the other AlphaTauri? Is there damage to the other AlphaTauri? No, there's not. It looks like Taylor's just maybe struggling. Oh, tries to save it. I said that was going to be a trouble spot. Turn 7 and 8, and it just seems to really, you know, I mean, I called it out. Whoa, almost a little there. And the exit of turn 9 as well. But 9 seconds the gap to the leader between MooMoo and unsighted Port. You see the gap between Port and John has definitely gone out about a couple of tenths or so, about 1.5 seconds to be exact. Behind him, ZachTheBeast, about 2 seconds adrift. Yellow flag, and that is Taylor, I believe. Again, his tires overheated and actually was off into the barriers in the gravel trap, the exit of turn 12 there. Not a great day for AlphaTauri indeed. They definitely needed a strong day. They lost a couple positions in the Constructors' Championship. They entered into Portimao 2nd, and they left at 5th. And, well, with the guys around them, and Mercedes grabbing some decent points right now as it stands with 12 for ZachTheBeast, and McLaren grabbing their advantage, and Red Bull definitely grabbing advantage. That's now of the Grand Prix as well. Both AlphaTauris. Well, that is definitely not what they needed, and, well, we'll have to wish them luck in the next Grand Prix in Monaco. Yes, you heard it here first. Monaco's so excited. Ah! Meanwhile, in the pit lane, John goes on to the hards. ZachTheBeast, the mediums. Is that a 2-stop, or is he going to try to go make those mediums stretch to the end of the Grand Prix? It'll be tough. Minico in the pits as well. He's going to go to the hard compounded tire. Ferrari Nut also in the pits. He's going to look like to go on to the hard compounded tire as well. Whoa! Zach had to take avoiding action. Didn't know if that ghosted out solid or not. Let's go back to the gap to interval here. You see here, it's kind of a tough time for some of these guys that are not on those mediums that they started with. You see all in the Haas there. You see John. He's actually the highest hard runner. Look at the overcut he got with a clean air, because Bosco, I believe, actually got held up Well, that clean air is not going to hold off BRL Ardell right all over the place. For Ardell, he's just going to have to get through as quick as he can. John looks like he's going to have the best chance he has. John to the left-hand side. He's going to go down the inside on Ardell. He's going to keep it there on the outside. The Williams will still side by side, and Ardell will keep it up. Right now he's fighting tooth and nail trying to head of the McLaren, even though he's not on the same strategy. Ardell thinks that him to have a great strategy and to have some clean air. John loses it through 15. Now he's going to have the pressure from the Mercedes behind him, and ZachTheBeast on the mediums. So how is it going to happen? John down to the right-hand side. He's going to get past Ardell. Zach goes easily past the Williams of Ardell at 3 out of the 4 Mercedes-powered cars right there in the same straightaway, now on the same part of the track. John to 6th, Zach to 7th, and Ardell down to 8th. Boss Cookie, 2 seconds adrift of the Williams in P8. He wants some, he's right now provisionally, for all the drivers who's pitted, he's 3rd on track, but I'm still thinking at Mercedes is splitting the strategies. You see Deer Hunter, he's gone on the mediums. I'm sorry, he went on the hard compounded tire very early on. He actually pitted before a lot of the soft runners. Well, you see where he is right now. In the hards, how is that going to hold up? How is the hard compound going to do? Bosco grabs a 3-second time penalty, by the way. Look at Deer Hunter. He's going to go very physical with Tweaking around the outside of 9. He tries to keep it, and Tweaking leaves the space. Deer Hunter gets past Tweaking in the Haas for P11. That was very bold and very daring, and it could have definitely ended up in a crash. But like I said, Mercedes possibly splitting the strategies here, because I don't see the mediums, especially the ones that ZachTheBeast have bolted on, going the entire distance. Well, if it does, well, you know, I don't know. Maybe I should stay out of the strategy game. Well, right now, let's go through the field. Moo outside port, Phantom, and Ron Swanson and Axe. Those guys have yet to stop right now. Look like this, though. Reptile and Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter on a charge, gets up to P10 and into the points on the hard compounded tire for the Mercedes. He looks like he's going to the end. Moo outside port, Phantom, Axe, like I've said, they have yet to stop. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. And right now, the top 2, though, Moo and they're looking like the class of the field as of late, especially after what happened to Deer Hunter. The pace from ZachTheBeast doesn't seem to look like he carried over to the race pace. Right now, he's on those mediums, and he's behind John, 0.3 of a second between those two. And that looks like a very wide extension from Deer Hunter. That may be a warning for the Mercedes. How much will penalties play into pack of this? John gets past Axe in the battle for P5. Axe is right now holding on in that Haas. Right now, like I said, he has yet to stop. He's been on those mediums for 12 laps. Behind him is going to have ZachTheBeast in the Mercedes. You see the pace difference, though, between the Mercedes and the Haas is quite significant. This may be an easier move for Zach than really anything was. The Ferrari power just isn't what it used to be. Look at ZachTheBeast, though, 100% battery on the bottom left. He's going to blow past. Acts like he's not even moving. Actually, Axe looks like he's going to hold up a little bit of a fight, but Zach goes and clears the Haas going into turn 1. Ardell, Reptile, both have pitted. Moo has been given a 3-second time penalty, but right now that is that's just kind of water in the pond. 11.6 seconds adrift of that McLaren. 3-second time penalty goes to Minico in the Aston Martin. Yellow flag. That actually may be KP21. In the Williams on the exit, yes it is, on the exit of turn 15, looks like he may have looped it because of the curb. Maybe hopped that sausage curb. And it doesn't look like that Williams are having a fun time right now. Speaking of Moo, there he is right behind him. He's led pretty much from the chance he got to overtake Deer Hunter, and he's been pulling away in a gap now. 12.3, speaking of that, outside of port. He now takes the call into the box for 13 laps on those mediums. He now is going to go onto the safety of the C1 hard compounded tire for the end of the race. How is this undercut going to fare? Remember, 12.2 was the gap before he came into pit. It's obviously not going to be that significant, but how much ground will Port make in on Moo while having these fresher and newer hard tires? If you're not familiar with the undercut or the overcut, the undercut is when the driver pits before someone they're racing to use the fresh rubber and clean track in this instance to try to lap faster, run faster times and more consistent times than the driver there and worn rubber. And we'll see how that works out for unsighted port. The overcut is what Moo is trying. He's now is pretty much the opposite. Is whenever you stay out longer, use those older tires and hope to God that the guy you're racing gets held up with some traffic. Right now, it doesn't look like unsighted port has any traffic. But then again, the undercut or the overcut is not really going to go into effect with those two. Once again, it was like 12 seconds or so. MooMoo is going to go into the pits. He is going to go and take that free chance. He has 19.2 seconds, the gap between himself and BRL Phantom. Right now, Red Bull looking like they have the strategy correct. Lays out. We're about halfway done in this Grand Prix. 15 down, and we have about 18 laps to go. You see KP21 and the Williams going in to go off of those medium compounded tire. You see BRL Phantom right now, he'll actually get ahead of his teammate, but unsighted port is miles behind. You see MooMoo, just that gap was too significant. We'll see what the gap is though. Is it indeed that 12 seconds that it was? It's actually, so a good outlap for MooMoo. I'm sorry, yeah, I guess a good in-lap, I should say, for MooMoo, as ZachTheBeast gets past Ron in the Alfa Romeo. Once again, he's yet to stop. Tweaking and Larson, they will go and make their stop. That means the only drivers who have yet to come in for their service has been the Red Bull of Phantom in the lead of the race right now, and the Alfa Romeo of Ron Swanson right now in P6. Running well in that Alfa Romeo. This is his first race in that car. Qualified ahead of his teammate Larson Fan, P16. And by the end of lap 1, he was actually up 5-6 positions. So, showing what he can do in that Alfa Romeo. We'll see what he can do for the rest of the race. He's going to try to stay and see if he can stretch these tires as long as possible. Almost losing it to the apex of turn 9 there. You see Larson Fan, the other Alfa Romeo, he's on the softs. So, trying a little bit of a different strategy between those guys. The closest battle on track, though, is going to be Boss Cookie and Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter has fought back and relinquished a lot of the pressure and pain he got from that early incident to Boss Cookie. Now he's now charged on that Ferrari. It's about 1 lap fresher tire the Ferrari has over the Mercedes, but that's not going to stop Deer Hunter. He's going to try and make this work as possible and as fast as he can for this Mercedes team that really needs a good race right now. See ZachTheBeast, he stopped. But once again, he's on those mediums. I highly doubt those tires can make it to the end of the Grand Prix. But if it does, I will be amazed. Great strategy call from BRL and Neymar and the rest of the Mercedes pit board. You see Phantom, he's yet to stop. Actually, no, he has come in to stop. No, he hasn't. He has not stopped. MooMoo got past him, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. But you see, Phantom is right behind MooMoo. That's because he was just overtaken a second ago. Phantom just needs to stop. But you see right here, Boskowski's closed in on the Alfa Romeo of Ron Swanson, but Deer Hunter's closed in rapidly on the Ferrari of Boskowski. This is going to be the problem. A little mistake. Side by side through 9. This is going to be differential if they do not get it right. Deer Hunter up the inside of turn 9. What an aggressive and bold statement from Deer Hunter. He was not waiting for the Ferrari. And you see Ron getting out of the way of not only 1, but 2 of the top cars. You see Deer Hunter and Boss Cookie. MooMoo sets the fastest lap at the Grand Prix in 19.03. The Red Bull looking pretty strong, and that's going to be something he needs to rely back on. 11.2, that's the gap between Phantom and unsighted port. The gap between leader and P3, who is the actual net P2, 13.5. That is a net about 1.5 second improvement on, the race leader. Let's go back through the pack, though. You see Deer Hunter once again is just charging his way back through the field. Ever since that incident, he has not looked back. He's now gone up to P6, and he's now chasing after the McLaren in front of him. VRA John 2.5 seconds is the gap between the Mercedes and the McLaren that they have to really use for. According to chat here, Neymar says Zach can actually make it to the end of the Grand Prix on the medium. We'll have to keep that in mind because that could be a huge strategy call for the Mercedes team, and that will be something that will definitely help the American there trying to go in against his teammate. At Tronha, 3-second time penalty. You see Minico almost losing it the apex of turn 7. You see Ed Tronha behind him. Ferrari Nut, that's something we've actually seen here is he's not the only Hunter is who's made a lot of charge to the field. Deer Hunter has been accompanied time by Ferrari Nut, not too far behind, but once again he's still trying to make his way back up. Lap 1, it was a little bit of an incident between himself, Ferrari Nut, DRC Jared, his teammate in the Alpine, and I believe ZachTheBeast as well. All 3 of them, Ferrari Nut made an aggressive move into turn 4, and unfortunately it just didn't stick. Hit the side pod and the I believe the rear wheel of one of the cars involved and spun himself around. Luckily, he stayed out of the barriers. He's now been fighting his way ever since. Now, right now, he's up to 11th. He's in the DRS and has that battery deploy and the slipstream for Ed Tronha. He wants that point. He got a point a week ago. He wants another one. Alpine had, and they want to definitely rebound. If they can grab some points here at Spain, that'll be detrimental to their success so far this season. They have 2 points to their name, and right now they're in a battle with Haas. They're tied on a tiebreaker, I believe. And since the more consistent finishes for Alpine in the lower, I guess the higher teens compared to Haas, got them ahead of the American outfit. Well, that's a yellow flag. Larson Fan is out of the Grand Prix. And actually, KP21 has spun. I believe that may be a safety car. Either safety car or a virtual safety car. Phantom has actually taken that time to come in to stop. He's 11.3 seconds ahead of Unsighted Port. Actually, yes, it is. It's a full safety car. Unsighted Port takes that option too. Phantom thinks he can go to the end on the softs. That's going to be a couple of longer, it's maybe about 11 or so laps. I think it could be possible. On to the medium. ZachTheBeast, he's going to pit as well. John Deer Hunter is going to double stack with his teammate in ZachTheBeast. That's going to hurt Deer's race even more. Ron Swanson, this helps his race out significantly. 5-second time penalty, speeding in the pit lane for Minico. That is going to be hurting his race detrimentally as well. Ron Swanson is going to help out with that tire. He's going to go on the softs. He thinks he can make it. He did 19 on the medium. He could probably take the softs as long as possible. Ed Tronha, he goes in as well. He's going to go on the mediums. Ferrari Nut, he goes in. He's going to jump Ed actually in the pits, which is good for the Alpine team. They're going to get ahead into P10 accent as well in the Haas outfit. Woken Reptile behind him. I am tweaking going through turn 15. KP, actually, I believe we saw him spin on the turn 10 as the safety car deployed. This will actually help safety car that we race as one right there on the exit of turn 13. You'll actually see, I believe Moo is going to grab into the pit lane. Will he go on to the softs or will he go on to the hards? Deer Hunter went on the softs. Same with Ron Swanson, Broken Reptile, and BRL Phantom. What will the race leader and the championship leader do? C3. So Red Bull think they can make the softs last, and right now it is a crucial scenario for the Milton Keynes team here as well, because look, they are a 1-2 outfit. Moo had a Phantom, and if all else Phantom may be under pressure from Unsighted Port, ZachTheBeast, Boxuki, and etc. behind, he could use basically be utilized as a rear gunner, trying to, I guess, hold up the guys behind so that Moo can break for a good finish. Not only does the man in second, but the man in first, both Red Bulls need a good finish. They're 21 points back from the championship leaders in the Constructors' Battle of McLaren. They need a good finish to go and claw that gap back. Well, speaking of a good finish, right now, as it stands, that'll be a great finish for the likes of ZachTheBeast. He right now actually is P4. Remember, he started P4, so it's going to be a, can he hold on? Remember, he doesn't have to worry about a standing start, so he may not have to worry about losing those positions, but it's going to be difficult. Cookie has a penalty. Moo has a penalty, so that's going to be crucial as well. Let's go look at those penalties as we get that opportunity now. 3-second time penalty to Moo, to Boss Cookie. 8 seconds to Minico, because he has that 5 for speeding in the pit lane, and 3 extensions and track warnings. Ed Tronha has 6 seconds of time penalties, 9 seconds of time penalties to Ardell, and 3 to Tweaking. Those penalties are going to play a huge factor, and some of these guys' race now. The stops, 2 stops have been for Moo, for Port, for ZachTheBeast, for Bosky, from John, Deer Hunter, actually from everyone from Deer Hunter on down. Ron Swanson and Beer completely flipped the strategy upside down and gained a ton of positions with that strategy going from medium to soft with that safety car assistance. And, I mean, safety car or not, they still got a huge net gain. Speaking of net gain, they both have gone plus 9 positions, ironically. Phantom started P11. He's now up into P2, plus 9 gain. Moo's gained a position. Port has gone exactly where he was, even though it doesn't take into account what happened the entire race beforehand. Well, Bosky's lost 2. John's lost 1. Ron Swanson, he started 16th. He was out of Q1. He's up into P7. The Alfa Romeo looking really swell right now. And if it stands, Alfa Romeo will not only pass Haas, but they'll pass Alpine as well. They'll grab a solid 6 points from this finish from Ron Swanson. That'll be 3 ahead Actually, it'll be 4 ahead, I'm sorry, of Alpine and 5 ahead of Haas. They'll grab 7 points, so they had that one existing point before. He's going to want to try to grab a good, rebound. He's on those softs. He's 7 positions down from where he started. He started on pole. He wants to finish, not win the Grand Prix. Minico, he's going to try to want and take advantage of this restart as well. He started in the right outside the top 10. He's gone up a couple positions. He started P12. He's up to P9. It's a good position for him to be in right now. But he has to worry about Ferrari Nut. Ferrari Nut has been pacey, and he's not stopped for any battle. He's not backed down. He wants to go and grab some more points. He's sitting P10 right now. He has some points to his name. He has 1 to be exact. Ed Tronha, he's going to want some points. Like we said multiple times, it's his debut race back. You know, he had it back, but he had a 2-week hiatus at China and Portimao. He wants some points for that Haas outfit. I'm sorry, for the outfit. Speaking of the Haas outfit, we're on board with Axe now. See him in P12, tweaking in P14. So far, a good day for the Haas team itself. The American team looking pretty swell. P12, P14, an opportunity for points if everything plays it well. Miguel Ardell in his first full-time seat for the Williams Racing. He was a Williams driver a season ago, and he's back for the Williams team. This time managed by BRL Neymar. Let's see what he can do. He's sitting P13. He has a couple seconds of time penalties, 9 to be exact. So that's going to hurt him a little bit. Oh, Ferrari has actually lost it, I think. That's going to get, I believe, Ed ahead of him. Look at these two trying to get back into position. Racing for this P10. Looks like Ed is just going to back out and give that to him. Actually, no, it's not. So Ed is going to get ahead of Ferrari Nut. Not sure what happened to the Alpine exiting turn 16. May have lost it. Maybe. Oh, that's Deer Hunter under the safety car, I think. No, it's not. It's Minico. What has happened there? That is be front wing damage for the Aston Martin of Minico. He was in the top 10. Huge damage. He has no front wing. That is not what the Aston Martin needed at all. Not for him, not for the team, not at all. That is huge. And because of that, everyone's all bunched up. He's not going to get a chance to go in pit and be with the rest of the group. The safety car will probably be in this lap. So Minico is going to have to pit with the safety car, change that front wing, and he'll be running P16. So he's going to have to hope on another safety car. And it's going to have to be something that really fits into the rest of his strategy. Safety car in this lap. We'll have about 10 laps from lap 24 on to the end of this Grand Prix. Is it going to be a Red Bull 1-2 at the end of these 10 laps? Is it going to be another unsighted port victory? He won the last 2. Can he make it a third? Will ZachTheBeast, will he grab another podium? Will he make it 2 in a row? Boss Cookie, he has 2 podiums already. Will he make it 3 out of 4? John, he wants a good Portimao. And China, he wants a great finish. China especially, he had a good one. Better one. Portimao didn't exactly give him what he wanted. Ron Swanson in his debut, he wants a good finish, and we're gone. MooMoo is gone. Look at that gap. That is a significant gap. But right now, look at this. Unsighted port. He's already on the back of Phantom. He's going to be on the slipstream. He's going to be in the DRS. He doesn't have it because the DRS is not enabled. With 73% battery, he's going to look for it. He's just not close enough. Unsighted port. Just too far back. Zach Cookie's going to be P5. John, yellow flag, sector 1. That may be through Phantom. Phantom spun round in the exit of turn 2, and that has completely thrown away what Red Bull has thought would be a 1-2. Minico is in for his front wing change. KP21 is a lapped car. I believe he's a lap down from Minico. But MooMoo from Port, from ZachTheBeast, from Cookie, from John Deer Hunter, who's now up to 6th. Ron Swanson to 7th. Ferrari Nut is actually on up a couple positions to P8. And Tronha to P9. BRL Ardell to P10. Look at this, though. P11 and P12 for the Haas team of Axe and Tweaking, respectively. They could grab some points if it goes into their favor. We'll have to figure that one out. Right now, Boss Cookie is close to the back of the Mercedes of ZachTheBeast. Zach is on those softs. No, he's not. He's on the medium. Sorry. He's on those mediums. He's going to try it and go to the end. I mean, it's easy now because it's a 10-lap dash. Well, MooMoo, he's going to have it pretty much to his nature. And fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 18.712. He had a commanding lead before the safety car. Well, now he has the tire advantage he may just face advantage as well. We'll have to figure that one out in a couple of moments' time. 2.1 seconds to gap. ZachTheBeast 2, support yellow flag in the final sector. Out, entering the pit lane. Virtual safety car. See if we can get an onboard from Minico. Yeah, right there. You see off the right side, it looks like he just got a little bit too fast into the pit lane, and that will be Phantom's day done. He needed a good finish. It was on the cards, and unfortunately, it's just not worked in his favor. Well, with this, actually has now been promoted to a full safety car. That is going to help Minico even more, so that's going to be a chance for the Aston Martin team to go and try to rebound. And by the way, with the safety car coming in now, we'll have a couple of laps behind the safety car. That'll be less time for for MooMoo to gain time. And that is crucial because look at that fact right there. 3-second time penalty to MooMoo, and that is going to be huge. Because if he cannot get without that 3-second gap, 3 in a row for unsighted port, and it could be 3 in completely different ways. Remember, unsighted port, he won at China because MooMoo had a little bit of an incident on the curb, hit the barriers, got some front wing damage. At Portimao, it happened again, but this time, he didn't make the mistake himself. He had weather affect his race. Well, this time, here in Barcelona, it's a completely different strategy now because he has a 3-second time penalty, and we're probably going to restart with about 3, 4, 5 laps to go. Is that going to be enough time for MooMoo to get ahead of Port by 3 seconds? By the way, ZachTheBeast, he's on the podium now in P3. Boss Cookie behind him, he has a 3-second time penalty. Can he get ahead and get away from the guys and the likes of John, Deer Hunter, Ron Swanson, Ferrari, Ed Tronha, BRL Ardell? Can he get ahead of those guys in the remaining laps we have, or he's going to get demoted as well? That's on up to 4. I may actually put Ron Swanson up to 6. We may show an incredible performance from the Alfa Romeo. Ferrari Nut, he's up to P8. Ed Tronha, P9, he has the 6 seconds of time penalties. That with BRL Ardell with the 12 seconds of time penalties. Don't look now. If you're a Haas fan, you could see a double points finish from Axe and Tweaking if it stands out, but there's a long way to go because is Broken Reptile going to catch the pack? Yes, easily. He should realistically catch that pack. And KP21 is a lap down from Minico. He's going to catch the pack as well. So now, don't go anywhere. We could have an excellent finish here at round 4 of the Realistic Championship here in Breakout Racing League. Spain, usually, when you think of the Spanish Grand Prix, it's usually not as exciting as you think. Well, right now, it looks like the adrenaline and excitement levels are going up to 11. That is going to be huge right now. Can MooMoo hold on with the penalty? Can guys like MooMoo and some of these guys who are on the softs, like Deer Hunter, Ron Swanson, can they move ahead? They've had 6 laps on their softs now, so will their tires hold up and have enough grip in them by the end of the Grand Prix to challenge the medium runners? For example, Port, Zach, Boss Cookie, John, in relation to Deer, Ron, and MooMoo. Or even Ferrari Nut, Ed Tronha, BRL Ardell. Look at these guys in the back, though. Reptile, Axe, Minico, Tweaking, all have stopped for soft. Same with KP21. We could have an excellent battle for the final stages of the points. 12 seconds of penalties for BRL Ardell, 6 seconds for Ed Tronha. We could have some shaking up to do in the back of the top 10. Well, in the front of the top 10 and the top 5, we have 2 guys with penalties, both with 3 seconds. Bosky and MooMoo. And, well, let's see how it plays out. These guys are going to have to catch the grid. The safety car will come in this time. Well, that means we'll have about 5 or 6 laps to go. We're on lap 27 of 33 here in Spain. Safety car in this lap. So it's going to be once again on the discretion of the man in P1, the Canadian. MooMoo is going to try to grab what he can get. He won out in Bahrain. He's lost the last 2. He almost lost the championship lead, but that fastest lap he grabbed was tuned to be to his eyes back when he got it. He didn't expect it to be the only thing that keeps him in this championship fight right now and leading it, should I say. But it's going to be up to him. Safety car goes in. MooMoo instantly goes. It's going to be huge because here comes Port. Port's going to be on the Honda versus Mercedes power. Here comes the McLaren. He's gaining on the Red Bull. He's gaining on the Red Bull. He's off the button. He's going to try to stick behind MooMoo. Maybe some games being played by the McLaren of unsighted Port. Is he going to try to use that DRS? Make it where he cannot get overtaken. We see Deer Hunter and John overtaking the Mercedes, overtaking the McLaren for P5. That's a huge move for Deer Hunter and his race. He can now go after Boss Cookie and try to disperse him as fast as possible. ZachTheBeast, he's the only thing separating Boss Cookie and Deer Hunter from a podium, but Zach wants it himself. He got a podium last time out. He grabbed P2. He wants another podium. He wants it to be the second Mercedes, actually, I guess the third Mercedes podium, second for himself, and that'll swing the race head-to-head, I think, 2-2. The qualifying head-to-head is also 2-2, so if he can hold on, it's a very balanced pairing over at Mercedes in the Brackley camp. Well, we'll have to figure that one out in a couple of laps' time. 1.1 seconds. Keep in mind the 3-second gap. That's what I talked about. We need to keep an eye on that gap, because if Port can stay within those 3 seconds, we could have a third straight McLaren victory. We'll have to figure that one out. ZachTheBeast, he's hanging on barely in that DRS range, and right now he's out. MooMoo has the fastest lap, 18.140. Boss Cookie's in that DRS range, but it's not going to be active until next time by. That's going to be crucial, but look at Deer Hunter. He's on those softs, those C3 tires. He's going to try to grab as much grain and much ground on that Ferrari of Boss Cookie as he possibly can now. The Aston Martins, Minico and Broken Reptile, they switch positions, battle for 11th. That is going to be crucial because Minico has that 3-second time penalty. I believe he served in the pit lane because of that wing change. Ferrari Nut gets past Ron Swanson in the Alfa Romeo. Battle for 7th. Ferrari Nut now has 4 to his name. Now he has 2 more. He has 6. So that is from today. 7 points so far would be if Alfa Romeo grabbed that P7. Well, right now it's Ferrari Nut and Alpine with that point in P7. Right now 2.7 seconds off of John and that battle as well. John in this battle as well, not too far off of Deer Hunter. You go look behind the Mercedes, you see Fury John. Well, the DRS is going to be enabled this time by, and that's going to be crucial for this man, the Ferrari of Boss Cookie. He's going to try to get as much ground as he can on the straightaway. He's not going to have DRS now, but he's going to have it by the time they get down to turn 9. Zach had to go off the track a little bit, try to avoid a warning. DRS been enabled. ZachTheBeast is going to go defensive to the right-hand side, breaking the slipstream. He moved once, he moved twice. This is his 3rd move. Now he goes back to the racing line. That may be something we could watch out for in the stewards' inquiries. Will that be reported? We'll have to figure that one out. Boss Cookie, he's going to try to go for this if he has the possible opportunity to. Minico, Reptile, both get past Ardell in the battle for 10th. Minico now in the points. Reptile is going to have it, though, with that 3-second time penalty for the Canadian of Minico. 1.9 seconds. That's the gap between Port and MooMoo, and they have about 4 laps, 3.5 technically, to make that grow even more. ZachTheBeast is going to have 1.3 seconds. He doesn't have to worry about the guy behind him. He has a time penalty, but the guy behind him, Deer Hunter, in that Mercedes car, that black Fume. Oh, Cookie almost lost it. That's going to be a big incentive for Deer Hunter. He's going to send it. No, he's not. He looked for it. He's just too far back. He's just going to be stuck right now in that DRS train, which I warned about earlier on. But look at that gap between MooMoo and Port. That's going to be something we have to keep an eye on. It's stayed the same. 2 seconds now. It has gained about a 1/10 in this entire lap, which is crucial because if Port, he no longer has that much of a buffer. He has a 1-second buffer, and he could possibly win this race and gain the championship lead if he doesn't hold on to it. We'll have to figure that one out in a couple of laps' time. Here comes ZachTheBeast once again, trying to stay ahead of the Ferrari of Boss Cookie. He stays ahead, but just about enough time into the braking zone. ZachTheBeast is going to stay ahead. The dirty air is going to hurt Boss Cookie, but don't look now. But here comes the Mercedes. Deer Hunter, he's on those 10-lap-old softs. He's going to look for it. No, he's not trying to find any way he possibly can. Yellow flag. Royal Ardell has spawned. Ron Swanson's been overtaken for 9th. That's going to be him now down to P10 for the Alfa Romeo. And it's such a shame. He's had a really great race going on, and it may not even result in points. We'll have to figure that one out in a few seconds' time. Once again, ZachTheBeast actually gained a little bit on Boss Cookie now within 7/10 of a second. The Ferrari is, but don't look now. Deer Hunter is going to look at the first chance he has, but John's even pulled in the mix, and that's going to be crucial for the McLaren team because they're now chasing after both Mercedes. Well, Mercedes in the battle against AlphaTauri, unless something happens drastically, they're going to gain that stronghold against the Italian team. But the battle between Ferrari and Red Bull may go to Red Bull, even though Ferrari has 2 cars in the points with Ed Tronha and Boss Cookie. Cookie once again is going to try to go for this. He's gonna have a huge head of steam this time. ZachTheBeast has been defended to the right hand side, down the inside. The Ferrari goes. Cookie's been given a 3-second time penalty again. That is gonna hurt. The Ferrari's challenge, but now he has 2 Mercedes. ZachTheBeast lets his teammate go. Look at the team orders there. He now relinquishes Cookie to Deer Hunter. Can Deer Hunter grab this podium? Can he grab it for Mercedes? Well, right now, he's going to have it no matter what. And if they don't hold up each other, and Mercedes could have a 3-4, that'll be a huge score for points and a huge point haul for them. But look up front. We're going to be on the final lap of the Grand Prix at about a half a lap time, 2.5 seconds. That's the gap between the Red Bull and the McLaren. It's funny how we thought at the beginning of the season, we thought it was going to be Red Bull versus Mercedes. It turns out through 4 rounds, it's been Red Bull versus McLaren. McLaren has now almost have a chance for their 3rd consecutive win in a row. Could this happen? 2.8, 2.9. It's going to be all down to this final lap as we go around turn 16 for the Red Bull of MooMoo. He's now going to be on the final lap of the Grand Prix. It's one final time, 4.655 kilometers, 16 corners for the Red Bull gap. 37 milliseconds, but look at this though. Here comes the battle for 3rd. Deer Hunter gets past Cookie, and that's going to be Deer Hunter in position for a podium once again. That's going to be so in a good position for P4. He just has to hold on. Will it happen? We'll have to figure that one out. Back up front, 3.1. How close is this going to be? We have 1/10 of a second separates. Yellow flag, and that is going to be Ed Tronha. He's off in turn 2, and that's going to be the Ferrari challenge over. 4 points position for Ed. That is crucial, but here we go. Reptile, 3-second time penalty, but look at this. Port has gained a tiny bit and lost the rest all. How much can he gain? Yellow flag, KP21, I think, going through into turn 2. 3.3. How close is it going to be? Well, regardless of how close it is, once again, it is like how it was in Bahrain, how it was in China, how it was in Portimao. It's been nothing but pace from speed and domination from MooMoo. It looks like he'll do it, though. He did it in Bahrain. He won in Spain. MooMoo will win the Spanish Grand Prix. So close, 7/10 the drift. Deer Hunter will grab the podium in P3. ZachTheBeast P4. John P5. Cookie P6. Ferrari Nut will grab 2nd straight podium finish. Points finish for Alpine. And that is some quality points, 6 to be exact, for the Alpine team. They're on a roll now. Ron Swanson in the Alfa Romeo, 4 points. That'll get him ahead of Haas in P8. Minico P9. P10 for Broken Reptiles. A double Aston Martin finish. And less than a second separated Axe from the first points for him and the second time scoring in the top. Oh, what a heartbreak it would have been for that Haas team. But the American outfit has worked well. Driver of the day goes to Ron Swanson, and that is something that I could not disagree with at all. Ron Swanson came from the back of the grid in P16 up to points-paying positions with strategy, but the strategy paid off for this man and this team in Red Bull. They didn't get the 1-2 that they wanted, but they got the win that they so dearly missed in the last 2 rounds. Well, Season 7 of the Breakout Racing League has been incredibly close and competitive and full of action. No different will grab the win like he did in Bahrain to win his 2nd race of the season, now putting him on par with the amount of wins as the man behind him. Unsighted Port, 7/10 the drift, was close but wasn't quite there. He grabs P2. Deer Hunter grabs the podium. ahead of his teammate ZachTheBeast in P4, John P5, Boss Cookie, P6, Ferrari Nut, then Ron Swanson in the Alfa Romeo grabs a huge points haul, 4 points for the Alfa Romeo team, and that's a great thing indeed for them. Minico, the Canadian, in P9 ahead of Broken Reptile. He got redemption for China when he subbed in for Daytona. He grabs P10. Axe and Tweaking, both Haas drivers, 11th and 12th, oh so close to points. Ed Tronja in P13. He did the best he could, but unfortunately he lost it with a couple laps to go. Dell, the Canadian, in P14 for the Williams team, just unfortunately could not have a handle on the penalties and unfortunately the car at the end of the last stint. KP21, the other Williams, comes home. We lost BRL Phantom, Larson Fan, Taylor Clan, Bailey 29, and DRC Jared in the Spanish Grand Prix. One second as I get the podium sitters in. Can someone invite MooMoo, by the way? No? Okay. I got him. I believe everyone's in except for Ron. I'll see if I can get Ron in there. Looks like, yeah, I guess we'll have to do the podium interviews from the screen because, well, looks like we're not going to exit the lobby. All right. Looks like Ron Swanson is not going to be joining us in the commentary booth today. Everyone in the Alfa Romeo from 16th to 8th, and that was a great finish from him. But let's go to our podium centers. So make sure when I go to you to have your box and the party included, for you can hear your beautiful voice through the stream. And everyone who's watching can hear you as well. So let's go to P3 Deer Hunter. And it was pole position. You stole it from MooMoo, and you got it valiantly, 47 milliseconds. Just walk you through that qualifying session in the first opening stint before that safety car, because it seemed like it was from a lot of highs to many, many lows.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's honestly probably the best qualifying lap I've done on the game, period, man. That's like 2/10 quicker than my TT time. That's how good it was. So that was really good. Got a really good start and had Cam coaching me. Figure out, okay, seemed like maybe wanted to lead there, so I was content just sitting behind him. And then lovely Codemasters, my wheel started to glitch, and I had to recalibrate it. And then in the process, I spun. You know, it spun me out, and I had to recalibrate it, all that crap. And then I got wing damage, stuck behind one of the McLarens. So that put me down the order, which sucked. But that safety car really helped me. That safety car really, really helped me. And it was just, you can ask Cam, I was just fighting as hard as I could to get back through the field.
Well, that's something you did as well. You came from 16th on the grid from after that pit stop to P3, and that's something that you and the Mercedes team both needed. That's now the second straight podium for Mercedes, and as dumb as this sounds, that is going to be a huge high for a Mercedes team that honestly thought going in to challenge Red Bull. They've struggled a little bit, and you guys have definitely picked up the pieces the last couple of races. Zach with the podium in Portimao, you with the podium here. Now, one thing I do want to walk you through before we go and ask you about next week in Monaco, which I know you'll be delighted to hear about. Let's talk about the team orders situation. You saw whenever Zach got passed by, I believe, Boss Cookie, he let you through instantly. Was that a call that you made, or was it Neymar?
Both. And I feel like it was sort of just kind of me in the team decision, because he knew what happened earlier in the race. He knew I had gotten damage from a McLaren and knew that night. wheel had messed up, and he knew I was quicker because I was on softs, he was on mediums, and he knew I was driving angry. So he kind of just let me through there to have a shot at Cookie because I think he knew he was going to get fourth either way because Cookie had a penalty. I just think he thought about Moo still or Port. If I would have had a little bit more time, possibly, I don't know, or if I had gotten around Cookie quicker. But yeah, it was a little bit of both. It was a little bit of me kind of just saying, hey, give me a little bit of a break here and team orders. So, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's P3. It's a good finish. It's not what we wanted. I honestly thought I had a shot at winning this race. This is probably the best drive I've done on this game, period. Because we've struggled so much with the setup and everything. I really felt comfortable with the setup today for the first time in the life cycle of this game. And it was just really unfortunate we couldn't, show what we had, true pace, but we'll take a podium and we're heading to Monaco. I love Monaco. I know it like the back of my hand, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, you beat me to it because I know me and you are honestly one of the few that I've actually known at the top of my head that enjoy the Monte Carlo circuit. So you going into Monte Carlo and to Monaco, so that's going to be something that you honestly I think have been looking forward to since season 5, if I don't, if I'm not wrong to say. How do you think your chances are, especially you and the Mercedes team? Do you think you could go and challenge the McLaren and Red Bull going into Monaco?
To be honest, I feel like the Mercedes is probably it's a little bit worse than the Red Bull, obviously at Monaco. But I feel like driver skill plays a little bit more of a role, and and I feel like today we struggle with tire pressures this year too, and we really started to figure out that more today, just by practicing and doing a little bit more setup stuff. So I feel like it's the tires don't really wear at Monaco, a lot of slidiness. So I feel like as long as you can manage that and do a little bit better, it's qualifying so important. So as long as I can hook up a good lap in qualifying again, I think there's no reason we can't have a shot at winning the race. So.
Well, let's hope that has a great fight in store because Monaco is going to be a great time, especially up here for me. And I know a couple of drivers, including yourself, is going to have a fun time down piloting the machines. Well, once again, congratulations on your P3 and Mercedes. Once again, back-to-back podiums. They could be picking up steam. Watch out for them in Monaco.
Thank you, gotcha.
Let's go now to P2. And, it was close, and you almost got it for the third week in a row. But I guess you now had a little bit of a taste of probably what the Red Bull of MooMoo has been feeling the last couple of weeks. It's still P2, though, and once again, you said you may have not had a chance going in, especially to the guys like the Red Bull and the Mercedes, but once again, it's P2 and almost another... You're starting to pick up these points almost rapidly. Going into the season, we thought it was going to be a Mercedes versus Red Bull fight. It turns out it's just a Red Bull versus McLaren fight.
Yeah, it should be a Mercedes versus Red Bull. Top team's kind of lacking. I think I deserve one of those seats after showing what I can do in this orange donkey of a car. Yeah, I'm mad that I didn't get the win, but so be it. Yep,
so once again, it's short and sweet. It's kind of the opposite of a week ago. It's kind of unsettling for myself. But at Monaco, I know you personally are quite the opposite of Deer Hunter. You said to me a couple times, you just don't want to do it, period. You'd rather just sleep in or something. But, it's kind of not how the way things work. You're going to have to, try to figure out the best you can do with the track. What do you think you'll be at Monaco? Do you think you'll have a chance for some points at least?
Yeah, if I don't get murdered. But I make no promises because it's Monaco.
Well... Short but sweet, but that's something that is we'll have to watch out for a week from now. So once again, congratulations on your P2. Another podium, third in a row. It's not the win, but it's the next best thing.
Thanks.
Let's go to P1 then, and, it's kind of almost a redemption, if you may. MooMoo rounds. You had it in Bahrain and fall out of your graphs in China and to Portimao with both respected incidents that happened. Now it almost did. Did you think it was going to happen again?
Maybe because I picked. Still didn't think it. But I thought it was fine because I was like, safety car came out. Safety car again, so only gonna have 5 laps to pull seconds. So fast on this.
You're really quiet, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to I didn't want to step over you because I didn't hear you half the time. So, once again, I mean, you got the win like you did at Bahrain. Do you think the same thing could happen next week at Stronghold for Red Bull? Think of Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen, Mark Webber, and maybe even Sebastian Vettel. Let me see all who have definitely performed in the Milton Keynes car at Monaco. Do you think you could add your name to that list, driving that Red Bull?
I know I have decent at pace at Monaco, but just I'm not confident in the race yet, so I'm gonna have to actually practice quite a bit for that one. Cause Monaco, I'm not comfortable really. It's not friendly to the controller really at all, so I have to actually practice a lot for that. So hope I can do well there. I don't know. It's a tough track.
It's a tough track indeed. It's going to be one that is going to be a test of not only the driver's mental endurance, but the physical endurance, trying to make sure you stay off those walls, keep the front wing clear. And now with the addition of the side pod and the barge board and rear wing diffuser and I believe there's actually gearbox damage now, isn't there? With all that kind of damage added, I don't know. Regardless, there's a lot of damage you could have on the car.
Yeah, that is true.
The front wing. So, do you think that's going to be as, I guess, as prone to a safety car as it was kind of tonight? I mean, we had two safety cars.
Yeah. If there's not a safety car at Monaco, I will be. I don't know what I'll do, but it'll be the surprise of my life, considering we have two safety cars at Spain. So, yeah, it's almost a guaranteed safety car. So strategy is basically thrown out the window, if you will. So, yeah, I don't know. This race
it doesn't rain.
Yeah, that's true. This race went well. I mean, it was just. Well, also a funny glitch I got on the formation lap. So I qualified at mediums, and I noticed that it removes all my tire wear except for the front left tire, but it added all the tire wear to the front left, which is the tire that wears the most. So I was on 11% on the formation lap instead of 5.
Let it rain at Monaco, please.
Yeah, no thanks. I'll just straight line people.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Well, I believe that should be it for everyone else in the realistic tier. Myself, Hagatra, up in the booth, and the podium sitters on side report, Moo and Deer Hunter, all three. I mean, you saw Deer Hunter was quite ecstatic about it. Moo was quite complacent, and Unside Report was definitely not too happy. There's a lot of emotions and a lot of chaos happened from Spain. Let's see how it happens in Monaco. We'll have a fun time, but right now, don't go anywhere, because tune into the Breakout Racing League tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. You could have the Tier 3 and 4 races at the Spain circuit in the Barcelona, Catalonia track, and you could have the Tier 2 and 1 races at the same place on Saturday. Tier 3 races on EST and Tier 4 at 10 p.m. EST. Tier 2 races on Saturday at 8 p.m. EST, and Tier 1 at 10 p.m. EST. But also, you could have, like I said earlier in the stream, you could, if you don't fancy Formula 1, well, go check out Assetto Corsa Competizione. If you like GT3 cars, go tune into the stream. You'll have some fun. It is also, ironically, at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia in Spain as well. We'll have a fun time there. But from ourselves and Realistic, next week we'll have Monaco. We'll have some fun times. Go and join me. And I know, it'll be very ecstatic to hear me. If you don't like my voice, I hate to break it to you. You probably shouldn't tune into Monaco. But do it anyway. It'll help up the league itself, but we'll have some fun times. So, once again, for myself, Hagatra, and everyone in the Realistic and the Breakout Racing League, we wish you a good night.